morning, everyone! Today is November 1st, which means it is the first day in my week of the Life of a Diabetic vlog. Today is Sunday, and normally I would start a vlog on a Monday, just to kind of give myself my weekend, but I wanted to start on the 1st, and that happened to be a Sunday, so I'm going to start today. So on Sundays I go to church in the morning, so I'm ready for that. After that we usually do like a family lunch, either at my house or my aunt's house, so we'll see where that is today. Then in the afternoon I usually hang out either with my family or my boyfriend or both, and we just chill and relax for the afternoon. Kind of a relaxed day, but also kind of a lot going on, so I'm going to make sure that you guys are there for a lot of it. So we are done with church and we are ready for getting some lunch. So my family is actually going to, we're going to do Chinese takeout today, and so I'm going to kind of give you some of my tips and tricks for doing Chinese food. I know that a lot of type 1s struggle with doing Chinese food. So when we eat, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how I keep blood sugars in range most of the time when I do Chinese food. So we are at my aunt's house now. I've changed into my comfy clothes, which I just got this and it's super cute. It's my new channel sweatshirt. This is Taking on Type 1, so huge shout out to my friend Kristen for making that for me. So we're getting ready to eat our Chinese, and so I said I was going to give you kind of just like a guide to kind of how I do Chinese. So my biggest thing is I like to do more meat than rice. Meat has a lot more protein, and so what I get is a pepper steak, so it's just like a steak similar to like a Mongolian beef type of flavor. I don't know if you've ever had that before. Just kind of a plain beef with like a nice little sauce in it. It's got lots of vegetables, carrots, water chestnuts, cabbage, onion, pepper, lots of good stuff in there. And so I try to do more meat than rice, and that just kind of helps balance out the protein with the carbs. And so that's the biggest thing that I've found. I also do wontons, but those are pretty low in carb. So typically what I do, and also depends on my blood sugar, what I do at that moment. If I'm high, I typically, I usually take my insulin at least 10 minutes before. I try to. If I'm running low or right at a good level, I usually just take my insulin like right before I start eating. I've found that if I'm at a good level or if I'm dropping, for some reason Chinese takes a long time to process for me, so I end up going really low if I wait. So I'm going to show you my numbers. So right now I'm 99 and going down. I've had a decent morning. I was high last night. You can see by the orange dots, but I was able to get it down over the night, and we had a little spike after breakfast, but we're back down at 99 and kind of going down for now. But that's a decent number. I'm really happy with that. So I'm gonna eat some Chinese. I'm gonna show you my delicious Chinese, and I'm gonna have a great afternoon with family and friends. So I am home for today, just gonna relax and kind of enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Just going to maybe work on some homework, work on some school stuff, maybe some YouTube stuff. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday, be with my family, just kind of hang out before the work week and school week starts again tomorrow. So I'm just now making some dinner. It's about 7 o'clock, and we're gonna have some ham and cheese sliders and some salad, and then we're just gonna kind of relax for the rest of the day. I'm still gonna work on some homework, but just gonna relax and enjoy the rest of the Sunday. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of dinner, and then I'm gonna sign off. morning everyone. Today is day 2 of the week in the life of a diabetic vlog. Today is November 2nd. Today is Monday, so it's going to be a little bit of school, a little bit of just kind of hanging out at home. I have a night class that's online. All my classes are online this week, so I get to stay home, which is nice. So I try to work out in the morning when I first wake up. It seems to work the best for my blood sugar. There's been a couple other YouTubers have talked about this, and so I was able to try it, and so far it works well for me. So I've been a little bit on the high side as you're looking at my numbers right now. Was in like the 200s before I went to bed, and so I did a correction hoping they would come down a little bit like they normally do. They came down just a little bit, like right under 200, so I've been between 175 and 200 for a while. So I'm gonna do my workout and take a shower, and then I'm gonna do some corrections with lunch. So usually that works well for me. So we're gonna get started on the workout, and then I'll take you along for the rest of my day. So I just got done working out and getting out of the shower, and I was gonna go eat some lunch, but when I got out of the shower I realized something. I saw a bruise on my stomach, and I think I have linked it to my overnight highs and my highs this morning, because usually when I do a correction at night it usually sets me up for perfect success in the morning. So I think this is linked to my overnight high and morning high. Last night when I gave insulin for supper, I realized that sometimes when you give insulin, sometimes it will like kind of bump up the skin because it didn't go in quite right, or just kind of irritated. So that happened, but it's happened before and it's never been a big deal. Basically, I'm assuming that the rest of my insulin didn't actually get into my system, at least as best as it could. And some of it probably came out. So that being said, I assume that's where my high is coming from. So while it's kind of annoying that that happened, it's kind of nice to know that at least I wasn't too far off, like I didn't do something horribly wrong. It's just something that happens, and you live, you learn, you correct, and you move on with your day. Just something that I wanted to point out to you guys, in case you ever have an odd high that you don't know really where it came from, and you can trace everything back and you think you did everything perfect. Check to see if something like that happened, or if you're on a pump. I'm on the pens. If you're on the pump, double check your pump site. I've heard of several people where there's a kink in the tube, a leak in the tube, tube's not all the way in, something like that. Always check that. Don't always beat yourself up thinking that you dosed wrong or that you calculated wrong or anything like that. Like, double check your work for sure, but also just check to make sure that the insulin injection site isn't the culprit here. Now that we have that figured out, we're gonna do a little bit more for lunch and get on with the day. So I finally got my levels down. A little too down. Something that commonly happens to me is if I have insulin on board and I go to a store, I find myself dropping really easily. So I went from like a solid almost 300 to like 60 in a solid 2 hours. So just beware if you are insulin sensitive like I am. Just maybe dose back and pull back on your dosages a little bit. If you're gonna go to a store and you know you're gonna go to a store, that's what I try to do. But I figured since I was higher that I would be okay. I was wrong. So yeah. So we got the low up. I drank an entire can of Pepsi, and that took me from 56, and I'm now back at 78. I went up to like 122 as like a quick sugar spike, and now I'm back down at 78 and steady, and I'm getting ready to have some tacos for dinner, so I'm excited to have a nice dinner with my family. 67, so I had a little bit of fruit salad. Now I'm at 70. All right. So I am starting to go up. I was at like 66, 63-ish. So I am starting to go up, but I did just want to kind of talk about my trends from today. This is right before supper. I was low right before supper, so this is the low that I talked about. I hit after Walmart, and then I went back up and I spiked way high, up to like into the 300s, and then all of a sudden I came back down, and now I am over here in like right around 70, as it says up here. So I'm going to put this in the 24-hour spectrum for you. Do you see how crazy today was? Like, I have been all over the map. I started off today really high, couldn't get it down, and then I finally got it down, and then we have spikes all over the place. So this is encouragement for all of you out there to know that you are not alone in this, and we all have horrible days, but you're going to go to bed, you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, and it's going to be a fresh start. Numbers are doing much better now. I don't feel near as shaky and as low. I can really usually feel a low coming on. I usually get really shaky, so I feel good, and I'm gonna call it a night pretty soon, so I'm gonna sign off here, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow for day 3 of my week in the life of a diabetic vlog. Good morning, everyone. Here we are on day 3 of the vlog. I just got out of the shower. I'm doing my workouts every other day, so I did not work out this morning. I'll work out tomorrow. If you remember yesterday, my levels were obviously horrendous. It wasn't even like they were in range and kept going low or anything like that. Like, they were high all day. Could not get them down. Just absolutely awful. And then when I finally did get them down, I dropped to like 55. So yesterday was a horrendous day for blood sugar levels. And as you remember, I ended the vlog with the quote, tomorrow is a new day. So today is a new day, and it's a fresh start, and I'm going to show you my levels. They have been just flatlining perfectly in my target range, and I'm so happy about that. Finally got them in a good place. So now I'm just kind of getting ready for the day. I'm going to do some makeup, do my hair. I'm going to probably go out to lunch with my mom, and we're just going to have a quick little lunch together. And then I don't really know what the rest of the day holds. I'm going to have some homework, going to be working on some more YouTube stuff I have to record. I also plan on doing my photo shoot in my Taking On Type 1 shirts, just because I want them, and I want them to be shown. I absolutely love them, and again, a huge shout out to my friend Kristen for doing them for me. They're perfect. I'm going to be working on that kind of stuff just around the house and on my computer, and just a whole bunch of random stuff today. So not a whole lot planned. It's going to be kind of an easy day. But I'll make sure you're there for all of it. So something I always like to do before I get going and drive is check my levels. So right now I am at 158 and going up, so I am good to drive. I just want to make sure that I'm never either at a good level and dropping really, really fast, or at an already low level and either dropping or just staying in that low range, because when you're already in that low range, sometimes you don't register that you're going to drop it even further. And so it's always a really good idea to check before you drive to keep you safe and everybody else on the road safe. Okay, so I've done a little bit of shopping. We went to Joann's, we went to a shoe store in town, just kind of some little fun shopping experience after we ate at the park. And a lot of times after I eat, I will see a spike. But today I didn't have that, so I was super excited. I'm at 85 and kind of coming down, and as you saw in yesterday's vlog, if I eat and then do a lot of shopping, or even just a little bit of shopping sometimes, oftentimes I will end up dropping. So I knew we were going to go do some stuff, so I actually dialed back the insulin a little bit. I needed like 15, I did 14 instead, so it works pretty well. But I am drinking a little bit of Coke. Obviously I didn't drink all of this, just to kind of prevent a low from happening. I'm really happy being at 85, so I just drank just a little bit, just to make sure that I was going to kind of stay up there. So I'm going to get some prescriptions, my insulin and my Libre, and then we're going to head home for today. So I got done with my photo shoot, and as you can see, I did a little bit of jumping around and a little bit of activity, plus the shopping that I had done before that. So I did hit a little bit of a low right at 69 or 70, so I just had a little bit of yogurt to kind of mix the carb and protein balance. So that seemed to work. I'm at 150 now. I had a few little pita chips as a snack as well. So I'm doing some editing for this video, and then I'm getting ready to do my night class for tonight. And then it will be dinner time and relaxation time. So I am done with my 2-hour-long night class. So now we're gonna have some pizza, salad, fruit. Tonight we're going to do a frozen pizza, and frozen pizza is really easy because the carb count's already there. As long as you cut it to the amount of slices it says, it's really easy just to divide up and do easy carb counts. So I'm ready to enjoy a nice quick dinner with my family and then some homework and relaxation. So one thing I try to do before I go to bed, and sometimes if I don't feel like what my levels are, I try to check my meter, so this one here, and see if it matches somewhat close to what my Diabetic app is reading. So I have 240 and 255, so if I actually wait like 10 to 15 minutes, I might see this drop a little bit, so I would call that relatively good. So obviously this is high, so I'm going to be doing a correction. Have to do my Traceba as well, so I might check in about an hour, hour and a half to make sure that I'm not dropping in the middle of my sleep. So just kind of waking up, rolling over, checking the phone, make sure my Diabetic app is, I'm not crashing. So that being said, I am exhausted. I am going to call this a night, and I will see you in the morning for part 4. Morning and welcome to day 4 of the vlog. Today we have some errands to run. I have to get some of my YouTube recording equipment for some of my other videos, so I'm excited to do some of those. I again have a night class tonight, but otherwise it's just some errands and just kind of a pretty much relaxed day. I do have some studying for a test tonight as well, but pretty chill day. I'm going to start with my workout this morning though. So I got done with my workout, I'm ready to eat some lunch, but I did want to talk to you real quick about the workout program that I use. So it's not like a Beachbody or anything like that where like you buy a whole bunch of stuff. It's free, it's completely free. And I'm not affiliated with them, they have not sponsored anything in here, but I just really loved it and I didn't know it existed. So it's an app called Fit On. It has like hundreds of workouts. There are ab workouts, leg workouts, arm workouts, strength training. It breaks it up into like dance or stretching or kickboxing or Pilates, and it just has all these different things, or you can choose by intensity or time, or you can choose your trainer. So if you find someone that you really like and you like their workouts and how they lead them, you can do it that way as well. So I really love this app. It's just on the App Store. I have an iPhone. I assume it's also out there for Android, but it's completely free. There obviously is meal plans that you can purchase and do the pro version where they give you like advice and meal planning and all that kind of stuff, which right now it's only $3 a month. So if you are interested, you can go sign up for that. So just wanted to let you know that that resource is out there and it's really great. They have everything from 5-minute workouts to 30-minute workouts. And so that's what I'm using. And I just wanted to let you know that it's out there. Some homework now, but I wanted to talk to you about my levels this morning. They were high when I went to bed and I took a pretty decent correction and they just stayed high all night. So I'm in like the 200s. I'm right at 202 right now. So I had some lunch and I did a correction with my lunch, so hopefully things will come back down soon. But it's gonna be another day where I have to fight with highs and try to get them down without getting them too low. So we'll see how it goes. With doing Chick-fil-A through the drive-thru, it's obviously a little bit hard to do insulin, especially if you're on pens like I am. So I was gonna do it after I got home, which was a very bad mistake. So I'm now at 260. So I'm going to do what I would have needed for my meal plus a little bit of extra since I've waited so long, and hopefully that I can narrow down that spike and kind of round it out without dropping. So I will keep you updated on how that went. So my goal of getting my numbers down without dropping was only half successful. I got them down, but I dropped a little too far. I'm now at 69 with double arrows down, so I had a little bit of chocolate milk. Working on getting those levels back to a good range. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update of what I went through with that low process. Obviously I didn't film everything with that. I was trying to more so focus on my health and my needs at that second. So obviously my vlogging and filming took a backseat for the moment. So while I was doing my online class, I could tell that I was getting low. I could feel it getting a little bit shaky, a little bit just kind of weird inside. So obviously I'm checking my watch and I look over and see that I am at about 69, and then I dropped down to about 45. So I had the chocolate milk that I talked about, and then I ended up having some fruit and just some other things to kind of get it up because it was continuing to go down and I wasn't sure when we were going to hit that back up. So I'm now fighting a high as a result of that. So this is the up and down that diabetics deal with a lot. So it's not just about keeping your blood sugar in range, fixing it if you go low, fixing it if you go high. Sometimes the opposite causes the opposite. So you have a low and sometimes that causes a high from correcting too much, or you have a high and it causes a low from correcting it too much. So this is a constant struggle that I deal with along with a lot of other type 1s, and it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time. So something else that happened in this process was I was supposed to take a test at the end of my class. It's just an online quiz. And I actually had to email my teacher during the middle of class and say, hey, I'm fighting a low blood sugar right now, so I'm gonna have to postpone that test by at least a few minutes because I'm not gonna be able to think clearly. So thankfully, since I already had accommodations put in place, and he was like, yep, no problem, just send me an email when you're ready to take it and I'll send it out to you. So it's super important to make sure you have accommodations and things in place because these things do happen. So if you are type 1, make sure you have accommodations in place. That's a video I'm going to be working on in the near future because I know it's something that a lot of people don't know a lot of information about, and it's something that was a huge learning process for me. I'm going to try to get to bed at a decent time, a little bit earlier than I have been. I don't have any more homework tonight, so hopefully I can get this video edited and get to bed at a decent time and get up tomorrow morning and have a great day of blood sugars. So I will see you all in the morning for part 5. Good morning, everyone. So I had to wake up before my alarm this morning. Low blood sugar, so I thought. My Libre and Bubble were beeping at me telling me that I was 59, but I didn't really feel like I was that low, so I checked with my meter and I was 101. So if you look at this and if I turn it to the side, you can kind of tell that it's separating there, but still should be okay. So I called Libre and they are replacing it for me, so that's good. So I need to take this one off and replace it today. But other than that, I have a class this morning and it should be a pretty relaxed day after that. I've had a super busy day so far, just kind of that one of those days where you just have to get stuff done. So not a whole lot of interesting stuff has happened, but it's already 5:30, so I had some filming I did today that took up a lot of time. And then I did some stuff around the house as well, but now it's about 5:30, so I'm going to go on a walk with my boyfriend before I have dinner with my parents. I'm excited because you guys haven't gotten to meet my boyfriend yet, so you will get to meet him on our walk. So for carb counting for dinner, I'm going to just kind of rotate back a little bit just because I did go on a 3-mile walk. And for me, we all know that my exercise and insulin sensitivity is very high. So I dialed back a little bit on dinner. I'm going to reevaluate in about an hour or two, see where I'm at, see if I need to do a correction or anything. But I didn't want to give too much considering I did so much activity that my body is not used to. So I said I would give an update on how my dinner dosings did. It did pretty well, but I ended up kind of coming down, and it was coming down fast, so I ended up having some ice cream, had a little too much, and now we're dealing with highs again. So we've kind of done the up and down spike again today, so I took a big correction, hoping to bring that down along with my Tresiba. So hopefully before I go to bed I end up with good levels, or at least throughout the night I have good levels. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning for the last day of my vlog. And welcome to the last day of the vlog for this week. This morning I'm a little low, and I think that's due to the correction that I did last night, also with that 3-mile walk that I did. My body usually has a delayed reaction to activity. So this morning I am starting it off with a little bit of chocolate milk and then maybe some eggs for some protein, and then I will get started with the rest of my day. Not a whole lot going on, just kind of a relaxed day, maybe hanging out with family, maybe my boyfriend, and I will make sure you're there for it. So dosing will be interesting for this because I've never had this before. In the bun, I'm going to go with probably about 40 just because it's a very large bun, thick on top and bottom. The fries, I'm probably going to go with another 30, honestly, maybe 40. And then the mac and cheese, there's not a ton, so I'll probably go with 20 for that. So my boyfriend and I got to try a new restaurant. He's been there before, I have not. It's a barbecue place and it was absolutely delicious. But I made an insulin mistake, so I'm going to keep you updated on how that went. I showed you guys how much I was dosing for each item on my plate, not realizing that I wasn't like super hungry, and that was a lot of food. So I dosed for about 95 carbs and gave a little bit of a correction because I was on the high side, and I couldn't even finish the sandwich. I probably didn't even get half of it eaten because it was so big. It was delicious, but it was huge. So I ended up just going back and getting a refill, about half of my cup of regular Mountain Dew, just to kind of balance that out to hopefully at least delay the crash if I have one. So we'll see how this goes the rest of the day. So my lunch ended up being mostly okay. I did have a small low, but that's because I was running around doing some stuff. So as we all know, activity and insulin don't mix well for me. That is why I dropped a little bit, but not near as bad as I was expecting with only eating a small portion of that sandwich when I dosed so much for it. Thankfully, doing the Mountain Dew worked and I didn't have a severe low this afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining me on this type 1 journey this week. I hope this gives you a small insight to what a type 1 might go through if you're not a type 1, and I hope that this gives you something to relate to if you are a type 1. I can't wait to do another vlog in the near future, maybe on something different next time. Drop those in the comments below if you would like me to do another vlog and what you'd like me to do a vlog on. But that's it for me, so make sure you get out there and take on type 1.